shipment comes in right at the end of the month. Then 12 by next week, 12 the week after. Good. That should be good. Oh. Well, if it isn't my favorite automaton coming back to my shop. Excuse me, I was just making some plans for some future sales. But it's been a minute. I haven't seen you in a while. What can I do for you? How are you doing? Are you all right? You don't look so good. Yeah, if I well, actually, let me just consult my notes here. Yeah, I don't think you've been in for a little while. When was the last time you had all of your parts looked at? You haven't been trying to skimp on the costs here, have you? See a cheaper mechanic? What have I told you about going light on your appointments? You get what you pay for. Now, I understand that times are tough and it's hard these days to make any kind of money, but this is an investment in your well-being. I'm sure you didn't get nearly as much mileage out of whatever you've had done. If you'd come to see me the first time, well, let's just say you wouldn't be here now, right? Yeah, okay. It's okay. Lesson learned, I hope. Now, let me just go get some tools and we'll do a little bit of a general checkup of your whole setup, and we'll see what needs fixing. Do you know where it hurts? Or I should say where you feel the receptors signaling for different... Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Let me just pull together some tools here. Alright, well, I think I've got everything together here. And now I think I'm just going to need to inspect overall your exterior. Now, if I may, I'm just going to reach in here and observe around the cranial head section. Okay, well, everything seems mostly alright up there. Have you been feeling any fogginess, any memory lapses, or lag in terms of your processing powers? No? Well, that's good. That's a good sign. Gotta make sure everything's alright up here. Alright, and how about in the main casing, in the torso? Is everything alright there? Well, I mean, I will probably need to pop open the chest and take a look inside, see if anything is going wrong, but before I do that, how about I run a few more diagnostics and see if we can pinpoint exactly what needs to be taken care of. Pinpoint exactly what needs to be taken care of, okay? Okay, we're going to first take a optical scanner, which will hover and move across different parts of your body, different sections here. And it's going to scan all along. Scanning all along, collecting data, Then that should be transmitted to my readouts here, and I'll be able to get a better understanding. Now, if you could just do me a favor, and I'll hold it here where you can see it. I want you to focus right here. Focus right here on the center of the optical scanner. I want you to follow the center of the optical scanner across your field of view. Follow it across, and down. Good, don't look at me, look at the scanner. Across. Good. Keep looking right here. Right there. Good. Okay. Did that cause any discomfort, or did you experience any lag during this process? Good. Okay. Now, I'm going to use that same information, but this time I want you to follow my finger. Follow the point of my finger right here. Just follow my finger right here. Okay. Good. Very good. Right. Well, it seems that everything is processing all right, although I do notice a little bit of lag. It seems to be imperceptible on your part, which also means that your self-auditing processors are not operating at their finest. Now, that means that there's a little bit of work that needs to be done at the optical section, as well as in the auditing processes down in your torso. So, I think if it's all right with you, I'm going to put on some gloves. Don't want to contaminate anything on your person, specifically on the inside, which is a highly regulated economy of electronics and logistics. And I'm going to open you up and take a little look. Is that all right? Great. Now, it is not fair of me to ask, but I can't help but curiosity get the best of me. Who was it exactly? Who you saw instead of me? Like I said, I'm not upset, maybe a little disappointed, but I think that, well, obviously you have something that I probably would have caught the first time around, and whatever the work is that was done, well, okay, you don't have to tell me. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, let's see. We have to open up the front plate here on your person, and for that I am going to need to open you up. So, give me just a moment as I these are not meant to be easy to take off. Okay. And then one from below. wasn't on as tight as I expected it to be, all things considered. But not a good sign, not a good sign. Now, we're all done with these for now until I close you back up. But now for the delicate part, I'm going to be reaching inside and inspecting. Who did you see? This isn't supposed to be here. Okay, let's see. Oh, no. Now, I'm all for, I've been known to put things together with duct tape and a little bit of ingenuity, but this wire that you had here, I mean, you can see the metal's exposed from the casing. This is no good. This is no good at all. I'm going to need to remove more of these pieces. Is that what I... Hold on. I'm just going to get a little bit closer here. And... rubber bands. Really? Oh, and look at this. There's more of them. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I'm going to need... rubber bands to hold together such complicated equipment as yourself is an insult both to my profession and to you as a person, as an android. And I do believe that the equipment that we use speaks to our craft. It speaks to the care that we put into each individual, and I sincerely apologize that you've had to walk around and exist for however long with all of these pieces inside. Now, one other thing I'm noticing, especially around the power center, is there seems to be a good amount of debris, perhaps buildup of different chemicals, sediment, and the like, and we're going to need to clean that. We're going to need to clean that up. So if I can get out one of the cleaning tools I have here, I'm going to be bringing that in, and just let me just clean that up right here. Cleaning that up right here. Yes. And then just a little bit more just underneath. I'm just going to be cleaning that up underneath. Just has a little bit of difficulty right there. Do you feel anything when I just right there? Does that feel like anything to you? Well, good, okay. That means that whatever's built up in there, at least there's no symbiotic nerve processing and different levels of understanding, much like the human body, nerve endings and sensory inputs on the inside we try and keep to a minimum for obvious reasons. We don't need to feel what's going on in there, but there is significant buildup specifically around the power cord that leads to the main processing, and if we don't get that taken care of, it will continue to build up, and that is one of the main causes of lag in any android. And you are not just any android, but I certainly don't want to see that be what happens. So honestly, I'm going to need to remove that from you, and then we might need to check your power source and ensure that no damage has crept in. It looks like the buildup is mostly on the outside of your casing for the power, but it is stuck there. It started to adhere solidify a little bit. So the next tool that I am going to need is going to look a little bit scarier. You can see the serrated edges here on the side, and what this is going to do is, as I reach in here, it is going to help to remove some of that buildup. And it's just going to scrape it away. Just going to scrape away some of that buildup on this side as well. Just need to good. Very good. You're doing great. Again, you haven't felt anything from any of those interactions. Felt a little tingly. I understand. Now, going to need to bring this back out. Now that the products have been loosened from the side, we can get in there and really give it a good clean. There we go. Now the scrub brush is finding purchase. Good. All right. Well, that's looking all right. Again, feeling fine. No noticeable lag spikes or feelings of discombobulation, no power struggles. No constant flow of power has been excellent. If you start to feel a little sleepy or find yourself wavering between consciousness and unconsciousness, specifically while I'm manipulating things around the power source, please do let me know, as we want to make sure that everything that happens is intentional and that you remain conscious only for as long as you intend to remain conscious, and that we are in control of when we power down. Now, I'm going to need to check your power source, as I said, and make sure that everything is still operating fine in there. We may need to remove your power source, which would mean that we would connect you to some backup energy, at least for the time being, and inspect the source before replacing it and sending you on your merry way. What does that sound like? Okay, good to me, good to you. Great. Now, one of the things that I don't have any time for is using less than ideal products or using the right tool for the job. Need I remind you that this twist tie is not the right tool for the job. A metal lined piece of wire is absolutely the right tool for the job. It's sturdy. It transfers the heat away from the power source through dispersing it into the rest of the body. And it's sturdy. You won't see these wearing down. You won't see them degrading over time, at least not within a reasonable amount of time, 3 to 5 years, in which time you should be seeing someone like myself, seeing myself specifically as someone like myself might not do as good of a job. Any wear and tear can be replaced or repaired. Now, I am going to need to open up the power source protections, and before we do anything like that, I always like to make sure that our androids are protected, backed up, ensuring that there is a fail-safe for any accountability if your power source were to fail. We would not want you losing power unintentionally. An unexpected shutdown could be disastrous. So, we're going to back you up, plug you into an external power source, and that way you have 2 power sources. And in case one fails, you have a backup. Okay? Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to find your cord that should run right out of your body. It does seem a bit stuck. Here we are. What is going on in there? Let's see. There we go. I think I fixed it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Good. And then I will just plug this in to our backup source right there. But I always like to complete the loop. So I will take my own backup cord, and not only will I attach it to the external power source, I will also run this in and attach. There. Good. Good. You are now attached to the backup power with 2 cords. And now we can fuddle with your power source, and everything should be just fine. As the power sources switch between which is the primary and which is the backup, you may notice a small lag spike. This is to be expected, and please let me know if it lasts for more than a couple of milliseconds. Now, I'm going to reach deep in, and delicately, very delicately, very gently, very delicately move the power source. Carefully, delicately. The energy crystal right here. It looks very good. It looks to be intact. I am noticing a few imperfections. It does seem to need a little bit of cleaning, which should be easy. We should be able to. Okay, well, diagnostic scan. Does this look like your power source the last time it was removed? Just look right here. Tell me if this looks like your power source. From this side. From this side. Any imperfections? Any degradation? From this side. From this side. Good. Excellent. Now, it does seem like the residue, the degradation, was exclusively on the outside of your power source casing. Getting open the casing was easy enough, and removing the power source was good as well. Oh, I do think that the equipment that whomever operated on you last was not of the finest quality. Not everything needs to be rubber bands and zip ties, but even the more sturdy equipment, if I may remove a piece. This piece of metal looks very secondhand, very used. I don't know if this is the kind of thing that I would want to have floating around in me. It looks like they didn't clean up very well. If I reach in here, it looks like they left some of their tools behind. None of these were actually attached. These were just floating. Yes. You had this in you all along. Just rattling around. Wow, I can't even imagine. I'm so sorry. That must have been incredibly unpleasant. The care that some people share with their tools is something that I respect indefinitely. But when somebody doesn't mind their craft, when they don't mind their abilities and their pieces are left around willy-nilly instead of keeping a nice and organized workspace, it honestly drives me up a wall. Well, I must apologize on behalf of all mechanics here that there's anyone that you could go to that would have such reckless abandon and carelessness for you as the client, as well as for their craft to make sure that you are operating smoothly. I can't imagine that they missed the residue or were not mindful enough to notice that they had not done a good job of cleaning up after themselves. Again, I apologize. If you had come to me in the first place, well, we'd be having a much different conversation. Now, I shall replace the power source, ensuring that it returns to its place deep inside and situating it correctly. Deep inside the case. And we're going to close the power casing, resecure the power case. Good. Well, that all seems good. I've closed up the power casing, and now I can begin to remove your connection to the external power source as we begin to load the power back to your main processor. First, I will remove my cord from your chassis. Good. And we will wrap that up nice and quick. And then we will move your power cord and begin to replace that. And the automatic repositioning and refiling should take place almost automatically. Again, small lag spike to be expected from transitioning back to your power source from the external. That is to be expected. Is everything all right otherwise? Excellent. Good. Now, before we finish this appointment, I would like to take a quick look at those optical scanners. You did seem to have a little bit of a lag. I think most of it was from the residue in the case, but I would like to ensure that everything is appropriate. Now, like I said earlier, it is important that we have all operations functioning correctly. So I'm just going to take a quick look here at your optical. Okay. Well, this is looking good. So far, so good. Okay. I must apologize while we are finishing up here for the sound, the noise. My workshop is in a relatively industrious part of town, and sometimes those sounds are unavoidable. But hopefully your audio processor has tuned them out entirely, and my drawing attention to them is entirely redundant. Now, I need to take a moment and just look at me. Look at me. Now tell me, is this vision better or worse? 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 Okay. Good. Now I'm just going to make sure that it can go all the way to the maximum of the range. This is for your long distance vision. Long distance vision, yes. And allowing it to come back into focus. You're doing a great job. Okay. Good. That's looking good. Well, I do think that despite everything, you have done a good job maintaining yourself, and, well, we are to all be understood for momentary lapses of judgment, and if you are ever in need of any type of tune-up, repairs, or just want to make sure that everything is running optimally and you're worried about the price, please talk to me. Let me know. We can work something out. There's no harm in asking. It's okay. We all need help from time to time. I know myself included on that. And I'd much rather you come and see me and have my assistance in taking care of you, rather than having to fix up any messes that other people leave behind. It endangers you, it takes up both of our time, wastes both of our time, and we know I could do it faster in the first place. So, next time, why don't you just come see me? Like I said, we can talk about it. Now, I will want to make sure that I take notes of what we did here today. So we inspected the power source. We adjusted your optical nerves. And we cleaned the debris and other detritus from inside the chassis. Now, I would like to see you again, anywhere between 3 to 6 months, for another inspection, follow-up, if you will, to ensure that that debris doesn't continue to build up. If it does, we will need to figure out where it's coming from, but nonetheless, I would like to make sure that that happens in a timely fashion. So, 3 to 6 months, please come on by, and we will take another look. Great. Well, like I said, we can always figure something out in terms of accounts. If you need to have a running tab or a payment plan, these are options that we provide. We want to make sure everyone gets the best service, not just those who can afford it. Now, I'm very busy, and I need to get back to my work. So why don't you have a great rest of your evening, and we'll talk soon. Take care.